All right, let's now shift our attention to what is happening in one of the most contentious issues between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Less than a month after Israel inked that historic deal, where it went on to establish full, peaceful and diplomatic relations with both the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain that were described as the Abraham Accords, Israel has now interestingly approved more illegal settler homes in the West Bank. In the first such go-ahead that has been given since Israel suspended the plans of annexation of its territory, Israel has now approved more than 1,300 illegal settler homes in the occupied West Bank territory on Wednesday. The Palestinians intend to establish their independent state in the West Bank and also in the Gaza Strip, with East Jerusalem as their capital. So the decision has now drawn an angry response from the Palestinians. So on the one hand, Israel had stated that it was suspending plans of annexation, but it is now still expanding these illegal settlements on what is effectively Palestinian land. The construction could help mute some of the criticism of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from settler leaders who are traditional allies of the right-wing leader. The annexation suspension had helped pave the way for the last month's deals, which forged diplomatic ties between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Now, Israel's West Bank Civil Administration's Planning Committee has given the final approval for building about 1,313 illegal housing units in these settlements. The plans for another 853 units were advanced, but at this point of time, they haven't still got their final assent, but they could do so in some time. Peace Now, which is an Israeli settlement watchdog, has said that in total the committee is set to move forward with projects that comprise more than 4,000 illegal settler homes. Now, most countries view these settlements as illegal and as a clear obstacle for a peace plan in the Middle East. The United States and Israel, of course, dispute this, especially under Donald Trump, where Donald Trump has been backing pretty much what Israel does. Now, Israel cites historical in a sense more than 2,000 years ago, and biblical links to the West Bank. And nearly about 450,000 of Israelis live on Palestinian land in what are described as settlements amongst 3 million Palestinians.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.